Hi, this is Babz on the Rocks, and you're watching Orgasm Central TV.
So, how did you get started in this industry?
Oh my gosh, so about like 15, 16 years ago, right? When I was like 21, I kind of started with like camming and everything. And then I was in that for about a year and a half, and the industry was very different in my eyes then than it is now. And it just, it wasn't, I don't think I was as smart as I am now with it and looking at it like for finances and money. It was just kind of like, oh, this is fun, and you're able to kind of express yourself, and things like that. So I got out of it for a while, and then in this last like year and a half, 2 years, I kind of delved back into it, I guess, more on like a mainstream level. And yeah, it was just something to do, and everybody's looking to make a little extra money, and I'm just like, why not? Let's try it back out.
So, what do you love most about the work, and what do you love the least?
um Let's see. For the most, I would say it's probably like meeting. It's meeting the other people in the industry, other creators and stuff that are just as open-minded, and um, it's. I feel like a lot of people kind of have a stigma around sex in general, not even just sex workers, but sex in general. So to be able to like meet others and have a community of people that are just accepting of that, and your like open-mindedness and things like that, I think is probably one of the best parts of the job. Least I would say is probably on the same end, the stigma that's kind of given to these people. You see in comments and stuff like daily on people's pages, you can see where they just automatically assume that you're uneducated, you had some sort of trauma happen in your life, like all of these things. And I just think that putting such a negative outlook on these people, who in most cases I've always have seen are very highly educated, smart people that have the greatest hearts and empathy for others. So I would say that's probably the worst part of it, is the stigma.
And what was your favorite scene to shoot?
Oh God. So my favorite thus far, I would have to say was probably my scene in Miami with Chloe Creams. We had it was a 6 and then a 7 girl like orgy. So, and it was just so much fun, just being able to meet some of the girls, some that I've worked with before, some that I never have, and just to be able to just the vibes together. I feel like we just kind of all meshed and clicked. And it was the first time for a lot of us to kind of all be together in that kind of capacity. So it was fun.
Tight. Feel it. I feel that. So here's something that I don't know if you are aware of, but according to the 2022 Free Speech Coalition, 46% of adult workers have been restricted on services like PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App. 36% of adult performers have lost at least one bank account. 55% have been denied insurance because of their background, and 50%, half, have been denied a loan because of sex work. What do you think of those statistics?
I just think it's appalling. As somebody that, had always worked in a very, very corporate job, I feel like coming from that background and having all of these like just things kind of like given to you, you don't really think about it, like even just like your health benefits, just the time off, like time, sick leave, all these kind of different things and stuff. I feel like people just take for granted, in a sense, because now being in this industry, I've never had a bank account taken away or any of these things, thankfully. I'm sure at some point one of these things will happen, but looking to buy a house. Like I own one, but I want to buy another. And for me, it's very like the thought of how is that going to even look? Like, how do I prepare for that? And the questions and stuff like that people are going to have. Is it even worth the stress of doing that? It's things that you shouldn't have to think about, because it is legal work. There's nothing there's nothing wrong. Sex is, sex is sex. It's there. It doesn't matter how you view it. There's a lot of positive things that do come from this industry and the people that work within it. And it's just, I think it's just absolutely appalling that we have to even, consider like lying or doing things like that, or having to find these other stress in a different way to be able to get past or around these hurdles. It's just not cool. So yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed that with talking to other women in the industry. But what do you think people can do to help sex workers?
I think just being more open-minded to it, where we can all accept, it's like if it's not for you, it's not for you, but I'm not shoving it down your throat. But that doesn't mean that me as an individual is bad, doesn't mean that the industry as a whole is bad. So I think just being able to remain open-minded to the people and what it is that we're trying to bring to it into the community. And then just on, an individual level, being able to support the things that support us. So, donating or giving your time, volunteering time to, I know in Florida, like we have like the pineapple support group is huge down here and stuff like that. You can donate to those pages. You can volunteer your time on there as a listener, just to people that need to be able to vent and get it out. And if you can't do that, just being mindful that those things are out there when you hear of people. We're all just people at the end of the day. So I think just kind of being able to remain open-minded and support where you can.
And what makes you stand out in this industry?
Oh gosh, I feel like everybody has their thing that helps them stand out. For me, I just think I bring a level of just, I don't know, authenticity to it. I'm not somebody here that's like trying to make it a huge movie production, though that stuff can be fun. Like, I'm just here to have a good time. I connect authentically, and I feel like on a very organic level with everybody that I've ever worked with. And I think that the people that have reached out to me to work with them or that have seen my stuff kind of get that same sense too. That I'm like, I'm here, I'm enjoying what I'm doing. And nobody wants that fake stuff. So I just think, yeah, I think I'm just kind of very organic and very original in my work, and you can see that I am enjoying what I'm doing.
And one last question, where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years?
Oh gosh, probably still doing this, at some capacity at least, but definitely, I would love to be able to have my own content house, and to be able to provide other people a space to work from, whether it's to cam or to be able to do their collabs in, or even just shoot for themselves and stuff like that, just to be able to have a safe space to go to. So I think that would be a really fun goal, and in like that five-year span. So yeah.
So you're gonna like rent a mansion or something?
Oh my God, not a mansion, but like, but for me, it's kind of fulfilling. I like interior designing and kind of stuff like that. So I feel like to be able to create, take a house and create multiple rooms that people could rent out to be able to come in and cam and do things. Maybe they can't afford, the lighting or the cameras and all that, to be able to give that to them to be able to create money, I think would be awesome to give back.